well, first off, before I say anything else, if you hear, like, sizzling noises or something, it's literally just the carbonation in my soda, because I have it right next to my tripod for my camera right now, so bear with. Hopefully it's not audible, or if it is, it's very quiet. I don't know what else to tell you, but there's not much room on this table where I have my tripod set up, so anyway. So, as promised yesterday, I said that today's video is going to be a happier one as opposed to the last couple in a row that I did that weren't lip balm related ones. And this one is another one in the, I have loose hair on me, ew. Sorry. I think that's for my dog, that wasn't even mine, oh gross. Yeah, and I don't edit. I probably should get rid of stuff like this in my videos, but what you see is what you get. It's real life, so anyway. Yeah, sorry, I snuggled my dog to my face a couple minutes before I started filming, so anyway. As I was saying before I got sidetracked, yeah, today's video is another one of the Remembering Forgotten Memories series, and this one was inspired by one of my nephews that's staying with us, because a couple weeks ago he had his 5th birthday, and it made me reflect on my 5th birthday and how excited I was for it, because in him I was seeing a lot of that same excitement. Even though the details were different, it didn't matter. I'm just like, I wonder if everybody's 5th birthday is like that. I wonder if it's because it's the first one that you're really cognizant enough to remember, because thinking back, I don't remember my 4th birthday or anything earlier than 5th. I think I remember a Christmas or two before the 5th birthday, which would make sense because my birthday is right after Christmas, so if I'm remembering one before age 5, it's probably age 4, because it was like 2 weeks earlier, so anyway. Yeah, so. Anywho, yeah, I was watching him, and was just like, oh my gosh, it's bringing so much back from mine. I thought I'd share it with you guys, and I really wanted to be able to show you a picture to supplement this story, but lo and behold, I cannot find any of the pictures relevant to this story, which just annoys the crap out of me, because I know we have, like, loads of them somewhere, because at this point my dad was still taking tons of pictures of literally everything. So there's like probably 2 or 3 rolls from that day alone, and I can't manage to find one of them right now. Then again, I honestly didn't look that hard. I only looked through the ones that happened to be in my room. They're probably downstairs, but I got lazy. Sorry. Anywho, so. My 5th birthday, for me, was probably one of the highlights of childhood birthdays. Keep in mind that I'm a child of the 80s/90s. My 5th birthday was exactly 1 week into 1990. Yeah, a lot of you guys weren't even born yet. So, I just dated myself big time. But regardless, I remember my dad waking me up that day, and he was like, hey, I have a surprise for you out in the living room. Come on, come and see it, come see it. And he was like, practically as giddy as I was when I saw what it was, which, thinking back to it, is really cute, thinking of him being that excited. But, so I walk out there, and how many of you guys remember Power Wheels cars? Like the big drive-around ones that are like battery-powered that you can sit in and drive around that are that big. Most of you probably had some form of the Barbie Jeep, or had the Minnie Mouse coupe, or whatever it is. Yeah, my dad pulled out all the stops, and had a red Corvette one out there waiting for me. No Barbie Jeep, no Barbie car, no stupid frilly girly stuff, no. A shiny, bright red Corvette. Little did he know that 20 years later he'd have the real thing in his driveway, but beside the point. Yeah, I saw that and I didn't know if it was just like a chair that you sat in that looked like a car and was really cool in and of itself just for that. But I went and got in it and everything, opened the door, sat down. I was so tiny that, like, I could sit in, like, half of the seat. It was like a one-person car. I was so small, I fit in half the seat. I was still able to ride in it when I was 10. That's how undersized I've always been. So, yeah, that. But, so he's like, put your foot on the pedal, see what happens. And when it actually took off across the living room, I thought it was the coolest thing I had ever seen in my entire life. obviously that was my big birthday present that year. I honestly don't remember what the little presents were. I know that there were some because I remember I would not get out of that car all damn day. I had my other presents brought to me to open in the car. I ate all my meals in that car, including cake. I had to bring the cake to me to the side of the car to blow out the candles. I wouldn't even get out of it for that. The only times I got up were to go to the bathroom and then immediately back in the car. Because remember, having a January birthday, it's usually rainy. Well, for you guys, it's probably usually snowy, depending where you live, but in the Bay Area of California, we don't get snow, ever. But we do get rain. Not that you'd know it from our drought that we're currently in, but yeah, January is usually the height of our rainy season. So I think I can count on one hand the number of times it hasn't ever rained on my birthday. Because that's pretty much how surefire of a bet it is. But so this is why we had it in the house and not outside when I first got it. Because, yeah, he didn't want it getting messed up before I even got to see it. So I think it stayed in the house for like a couple of months before the heaviest of the rain finally subsided enough to bring it outside, but obviously some of the newness wore off and I would do other things than sit in that car. But yeah, I was just like driving it back and forth across the living room and around the coffee table and everything. And then I had the realization, if I park it in front of the TV, I could play Duck Hunt in my car. This, to me, at 5 years old, seemed like the absolute epitome of the coolest thing you could ever suggest to me. I don't know how many hours that day I spent playing Duck Hunt in that car. Yeah, I'm that old school. The original NES was like the only real video game system aside from Atari at that age. Sega Genesis wasn't even a thing quite yet, but anyway, yeah, so I was a big Nintendo nerd already from about age 3 on, but yeah, so I was sitting in there, I just remember playing Duck Hunt in the car, and as an adult, the irony is not lost on me that basically, in a roundabout kind of way, this is almost like playing a little baby version of GTA, or Grand Theft Auto, for those of you who aren't video gamers, before it was ever a thing that existed. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just amazing at the time. I'm sure I played other stuff that day too than just Duck Hunt, but I was at the height of my Duck Hunt obsession at that age. So, not even gonna kid myself here. So, yeah, I did that, and the novelty factor of being able to drive a car that is okay for a little kid to drive. Like, I didn't know these were things that existed. Like, I didn't know that Power Wheels was a thing. I just thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, that I'm probably the only kid on Earth who has their own car. Yeah, obviously I very quickly found out otherwise, but doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, I loved that little red car so dang much. Like, my dad still brings up that car, and brings up the irony that that's the only car in your entire life you've ever driven, is that toy car. You've never even asked for a car, aside from that one. I'm like, yeah, I know, you can't beat awesome, but yeah, that. But I'm like, yeah, just was so excited with everything, and at that age, everything is super exciting to the point where it's like unbearable. It's so exciting. So watching my nephew with his fifth birthday, and he got a shitload of Lego sets, and to him, this is like the ultimate of cool things you could possibly get are Legos. Not just Legos, but Spider-Man Legos. This to him is like the coolest thing he could ever think of that he didn't even know was a thing that existed until he got them, and now he's just like, oh my gosh, Spider-Man Legos are my favorite thing. Like, he knew Legos existed, but he didn't know Spider-Man Legos existed. So now, every single day, just all day has been spent playing with Legos, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, he loves the Legos like I love my little car. Although I loved Legos at that age too, but beside the point. But yeah, it was just cool watching that same level of excitement in somebody else, and I don't think I got to see his older brother's 5th birthday, because they've moved away to San Diego and come back, and moved to Arizona and come back, and moved out so many times. But there's been a lot of stuff I've missed over the years just through the shuffle. So his I actually got to see, and since they're living here right now, I got to see the whole day. And all the aftermath. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're adorable. But, yeah, that. It went much smoother than his sister's birthday earlier in the year, but regardless. Yeah, it just made me reflect on that little red car and just how happy that thing made me for so many years. But the initial excitement of getting it that day and thinking that I was hot shit because not only did I have a car, I had a car I could drive in the house. My dad didn't even have a car he could drive in the house. Well, I suppose if you wanted to, you could, but you would destroy things, but yeah, didn't think this through as a little kid. But who needs logic, right? But, yeah, so this story doesn't really have any point or a plot line to it. It just, that's kind of the point of the Remembering Forgotten Memories series. It's just little snippets of memories of different things that I remember at random and just have a fun time remembering, usually, as long as it's not a bad thing that I'm randomly remembering, but yeah. So that's about all I have to say on this one. So as usual, if you like this video, click the like button. Leave comments down below in the comments section. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. And until next time, bye!